time.
So, Mom, how did you learn that you could get things a lot cheaper in Mexico and Tijuana, like sugar and produce and...
It was through Uncle Jimmy and Aunt Doris, and then Aunt Leonor, when she came to town from Mexico, they were living in Mexico City. And, it was during the war when everything was rationed. You couldn't get meat, you couldn't get sugar, all kinds of things, butter. We couldn't get any of that because it all went to the military. But so I guess it was through Leonor that said, well, you can get it down in Mexico. Let's go down and check it out. So we would get big bags of sugar down there. And
100 pounds for about...
Oh, it was so reasonable.
$4.
Their sugar was a little more coarse than ours. But then I always liked to share good deals, so I had all kinds of neighbors, and women at church, I'd get them a bag. And so that started our shopping down there. We could get big stalks of bananas like this for $1 or $2.
And big bags of carrots.
Yes, and we could get, we had a hard time with citrus getting across the border.
No mangoes. I remember eating mangoes like crazy on the other side of the border before you went across.
Yeah, because they couldn't take them across.
But we got tortillas and bolillos and
all
kinds of...
The bolillos, the rolls, hard rolls were just wonderful.
Are those ones you would use when you made that yummy recipe with the...
Stuff them, yes. And they were really good, and we could get those for such a small amount of money. But did I tell you about the time when I was on the stake Young Women's and we were going to have a luau, and I said, we could save lots of money by going to Tijuana and getting the bananas and all of the pineapple, everything's so much cheaper. So everyone said, okay, well, let's go down. Well, that's when we had that green station wagon, and we drove down and we just loaded up the back end. We had all these bananas and pineapple and papaya and all kinds of things loaded in there. When we came across the border patrol guy said, do you own a store? And I said, no. What are you doing with all of that produce you've got in the back there? And I says, well, it's for a church luau party we're going to have. And he said,
that would sure make a hell of a salad.
And I said, we need it for fruit salads and everything. The guy looked at it and he said, that's one blankety blank fruit salad you're going to make, lady. And the women that went down with me were just laughing their heads off. But he let us go across the border. But if you had a store, they would have charged you a fee. And
export, import.
Yeah.
So that's where you would learn, it was from those kind of experiences and these ladies that you would buy wholesale the big giant rolls of cheese and then cut them up and divide them between people, right?
Yeah, we'd get them from Challenge Dairy. Remember Challenge Dairy down there? And you could get a big roll of cheese like that for a real small fee because we're buying them wholesale. So I'd order them by the box, and there'd be 4 come in a box. And then the women at church, they'd all get a roll. Seems like they were like $21 the way I remember for a roll.
And you used to get eggs too?
No, we never got eggs down there.
No, the church was selling eggs in
not down in
Marlboro.
Mexico, but
Oh.
you would go buy dozens and dozens of eggs somewhere.
Did someone
Some
have
farm or
a
something.
hen house down there that you bought?
Was that in Ramona when the church owned the farm up there?
I
No.
don't think it was a church farm. I think it was just someone, and you were helping people out again, getting a good deal, and we would deliver the flats of eggs to
Yeah.
whoever.
Yeah, that's true. It was just, great to, help all the women out and help them money-wise. And so anyway, I think that's about all I got involved
What else did
in.
we do? We did more than that though. We had bananas and cheese and
Well,
You did Christmas trees,
peanut butter.
Oh boy, that's one
you did
of.
Christmas trees one year.
Yeah. No, we did Christmas trees for probably 10 years, didn't we?
That was Christmas.
And it was Rod's,
All 10 of them.
it was Rod's idea, and he would order the trees. He'd get them from Oregon and Washington. They'd come down in big shipments of trees, and we started up in Claremont.
oh, the first one we started was down on Mission Gorge Road.
Oh yeah, behind the bank.
Yeah.
Now, did you run a couple of lots at a time, or just one Christmas lot, the whole family doing it? How
Just
did-
one.
Well, it was different. A couple of years, Rod had 4 or 5 lots around the city.
And
Oh.
you just
But
divided
usually-
out as a family?
Yeah, but usually it would just be one lot.
But the first one, you're right, it was behind the bank there. And man, we sold every tree we had.
That's amazing.
And that was such an unusual lot, it's not very obvious. So we said, well, let's try it again next year.
Well, then the Elders Quorum had a Christmas tree lot in Claremont. And they said, we're tired of doing this, so if you want our lot, you can have it. And that was a great location.
Well, they weren't able to sell everything. They said, if you want to take it over. But you know what sold it? We brought in pinyon pines from Utah,
Big bushes.
and they made a big hit. And they were some that didn't drop their needles, and they stayed green. They looked so good,
People would come back year after year for the opinion.
wanting the pinyon pines, and they were a beautiful tree.
But we had a real operation there because we were flocking and we were fireproofing the trees.
Selling them to banks.
Yeah, you
Yes.
should tell us
Commercial
the
trees.
big story of the flocking gone awry.
For the
or-
bank?
And how you faked it.
Yeah, Rod came up with this idea. He
Well,
says
didn't we already
could,
talk about this?
not
No.
on film,
Oh.
but Rod said
You
we
could edit.
could pre-order trees, from the banks, and of course we charged them more money.
Well, they
And-
were big trees and they were
and-
flocked.
Yeah. And so I remember that one, you were just flocking trees like crazy. Oh, we'd pre-sold huge trees and that we had ordered, and they never came in. And we kept getting calls from the banks that were mad because they wanted their trees. And we said, well, they just haven't come in yet, but they'll be here soon. But this one bank, this man, he was so mad. And so Dad said, well, I'll fix him a tree. So Dad takes 2 trees and puts them together. And then we flocked it, and it was beautiful.
How'd you keep those trees together?
But it was raining, and we had mud
Reinforced
in the
steel.
lots. Remember when you went where Greg was driving, had it in his van, that old truck.
Oh,
And-
that one we had to have a trailer because we couldn't get that.
Yeah.
It was standing straight
But I
up.
think we had a trailer on the back of your, we
Bomb.
did,
Maybe.
the bomb. And as they drove out of the lot, the darn tree hit a telephone wire and over it went in the mud. So remember, you had to wash it all down and start it over. And every day we get a call from the president of the bank that was so mad. And so finally we got the thing all together. And Greg was driving the truck and I was working the windshield wiper on like this to keep it going. We get to the bank and we're so scared because that bank president was so mad at us because he hadn't got it earlier. And we took it in, asked him where he wanted it, and Dad set it up there, and then we began to tiptoe out before he blew up at us, and he'd discover it was 2 trees put together. And he runs out to Dad and he says, that is the most beautiful tree we have ever had. He said, we are really pleased with that tree. And boy, we got out and got in the car. We were scared to death it was going to fall over or something would happen.
Did they ever find out?
No, not until they went to haul it out.
I don't think he wasn't involved in that anyway. So
No,
he
janitor.
never did know.
See how creative you are? You think, you know?
Oh, that was so funny. Well, we had a lot of funny stories on the tree lot. I think Julian,
Oh my gosh.
that Janelle would get so mad at Julie because she had nerve and she'd meet the guys coming onto the lot and she'd sign them up, and if you need any help, my name is Julia, here she'd have it on a card. She's a salesman from the time. Remember, she sold frogs to the neighbors. And
That was the year that Rod decided that we would do commission instead of hours, because we used to do hours, just hourly, and we'd go and do our time and we'd get paid by the hour. But this one year he decided, we're gonna do it by commission. Oh my goodness. Here comes Julie, she had 2 pads, 1 in each pocket. Every person that came to the door, she'd run up to him, my name's Julie, if you need any help, here it is. My name's Julie, here it is. My name's Julie. And every time I go to somebody, I'd say, can I help you? Oh, Julie's already helping me. Can I help you? Julie's
she was
helping me.
so mad.
Julie's helping me. I'm like, that's it, I'm leaving. I've had it. And Julie had like, I'm not kidding, I think she made like $300 that season, which was outrageously phenomenal. And I think I made maybe 50. I was so mad at her. It's like, don't ever sell anything with Julie. It's not fun.
But Julie, she was just, she didn't bother her, and Janelle was so shy and she'd walk behind. But our kids did make good money there. One year, I think you boys made $500.
I made
Went
200
towards my mission.
I know.
I'm sorry.
I know that they did make good money, and that's why we kept doing it, because boy,
Did you guys make money?
we did very well.
Did we make money?
Are you kidding me?
I don't remember. Did you get all the money?
Every Christmas. One year, I know we made $10,000. They divided it up, but Rod.
You did make 10,000.
Yeah,
It was
we.
divided.
No. We
Each
made
individual.
10,000 on our own.
What?
Now you tell us.
Now she tells me.
Where was my money? You made me sleep in a trailer
Yeah.
on that lot to protect
You
it.
made $500.
Mom at least said I could bring my 22 when it was my turn to sleep in a trailer.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna make someone mad if I shoot him at a 22.
I brought my shotgun and it was a mistake.
That was. It went off during the night. Little hole in the garage.
But we can't tell about how we woke up in the morning and one of the flock trees was missing.
Oh, that was something. Aunt Wilma, she would take an order from this Mrs. Whitaker every year, and she'd want us to keep it on the lot till Christmas Eve. And I kept saying, Wilma, we can't do that. That's just everybody that comes on the lot sees that perfect tree and they want it. And we just have to guard it like crazy. Well, this one year, she wanted it flocked, and here we kept it till Christmas Eve. But one day we went out there, and Mrs. Whitaker came for a tree, and it was gone. And I think it was you that said, hey, you can see right where that tree went out through that lot. Follow the flock.
I did.
And so,
Right out to somebody's yard.
yeah, and it was in their backyard, wasn't it? And so they knocked on the door and said, I think that's our tree that's in your backyard. And they didn't know anything about it or how it got there or anything.
It was another Christmas miracle.
But we retrieved it and took it back.
So
But
watch this tree, Mrs. Whitaker, because it'll get up and walk on its own.
yes. But
Tie it down.
okay, something else that was really funny. An old drunk came on the lot one night, and he was just roaming around there, and he finally said, well, I want...
He'd been to a LaVoy's party.
What?
He'd been to a LaVoy's.
I guess. He
That's
wanted
something to punch.
this tree, and he wanted it delivered. No, your old friend...
Well, you have to remember that this was a year before, well, Dave Parker would come out and be with me at the lot.
Yeah.
It was a big mistake.
Yes.
And he was there one night when this guy came on the lot to buy a tree. Well, we have to kind of go back. The year before, I was delivering a tree out to someone's house, and they had just said, leave it in the garage, the tree in the garage. So when I got out there,
Well, he said,
no, well, I don't remember him saying, be careful, I had a dog. But when I went and to deliver it, I opened up the garage door, and this dog comes running out of the garage, and a car hits this dog.
kills it.
Out on the street, and the dog runs up behind the house that's there, and I'm checking on the dog, and the dog's back there whimpering and stuff, and I didn't know what to do, and the neighbors came out, and they said, he'll be okay, that's fine. So I left. That was the year before, and then the next year, Dave and I are there at the lot, and this drunk comes out on the lot. Well, he'd been drinking it, and so we're looking at trees, and he found a tree he wanted, and it was a lot of money. And the guy said, you should make me a deal on this tree. He said, last year you delivered my tree, and my dog got out and got hit, and then my dog died, and Dave said, you ought to give him the tree for free, you killed his dog.
Thanks, Dave.
So we made a lot of money that night.
Yes. Well, the way I remember the story, this guy said, I've got my sister's dog in the garage. I'm taking care of it, so be careful how you open that garage door. The minute they open, the dog shoots out and gets killed.
You're laughing at a dead dog?
Yeah. And then Julie, we had chicken wire all around the trees,
I
didn't
think
we?
it must be just keep the dogs out. I wouldn't keep people out. I don't think.
Well, we were afraid of them being stolen,
Yeah.
but many of them would tramp through there till the chicken wire was down on the ground flat, and some Mexican man came in and he tripped on it, and he goes over to Julie and he says, girl, that chicken wire you got around there is going to kill somebody. And she just started laughing her head off the way he'd say chicken wire. And and you think it's funny? And Julie would just laugh and laugh, and I'm over there trying to shut her up. I said, Julie, we're going to be sued. For heaven's sakes, don't laugh at him. He's serious. But we couldn't stop her from laughing. But I finally got the guy away from her and got him over there. And well, we'll have to, you're right, sir. We do need to take care of that fence. Oh, man.
And then Shauna got engaged and brought Dave
That's
down.
right.
And they were there at the Christmas tree lot. We thought we put Dave to work, and he was putting a stand on the bottom of a tree and hit himself in the head with a hammer.
Are you kidding?
It was the day before the
Day before
engagement
pictures.
Are you kidding me? I didn't remember that.
Yeah. Had to go to the hospital. I'm sure in the pictures you can
Well,
see.
and then Tim, when we were on the lot, was trying to take a stand off.
I don't know
And
what
he
he's
was
doing,
pulling
but
on
he
it,
could
and it hit him in the nose, broke his nose. We took him over to the hospital, and
There was a hospital real close.
yeah,
Yeah, we walked
Right
over
across
there.
the street.
Or an urgent care.
and the guy that was in emergency
Medical Center.
says, "Oh no, he's fine. It's that nose isn't broken." Then next day he's so swollen, and it really worried me. So I took him over to Dr. Cooper. Dr. Cooper says, "Oh yeah, that nose is broken." He takes hold of Tim's nose and just pulls it into place, and Tim goes like this, and he's got smelling salt under his nose trying to revive him.
There's one mean doctor.
He said, well, if I'd told him, he would have scared the heck out of him.
He
So,
was trained in the military. He did that all the time.
so I should have reminded him. We saw him when we were down to Wilma's funeral. I should have told him. You should have told him, hey, you're the guy that straightened my nose.
Though. Look, your nose straight.
So the Christmas tree lot didn't just give us emotional scars, huh? Gave us real scars too?
Oh, we had some great times doing things, selling oranges,
Walnuts.
walnuts,
Strawberries.
strawberries.
Cheese.
Yes.
Mention cheese.
Yeah,
children.
we'd go out and pick those oranges off the tree. They told us they're gonna put homes in there. If you want that grove, you can have it. Go help yourself.
Where was it?
In San Diego upon, where was it? Orange Grove,
Oh, it seems like it's out on,
closer to Escondido.
Yeah.
That one the foxes own?
No. So we went out and picked oranges like crazy, and you kids go around with your little red wagon and sell them all over.
That wagon, that was the best investment you guys ever made. We were always using that thing to sell something.
Yeah. And we made quite a bit of money selling oranges. In
well,
fact,
it was a project to get enough money to go back to Washington with
All
Glena
the
and Harold.
brothers and sisters.
yeah, so we made enough money. Our kids working for us.
Do you remember cleaning apartments
Oh, yeah.
with Janelle there and
Yeah.
you take it one room at a time? Why were we doing that?
To make money.
Our clean carpets?
No,
Apartments.
cleaning apartments.
Oh, apartments, yeah, Wilma and I used to do that. Neil Jesperson was in construction, and he had these homes that when they're finished, then they needed to be cleaned up to have people come in and look at them. So he paid us, I can't remember, it seems like it was,
Couple of bucks.
Buck.
no, it was like $50 each. It was hard work, scraping paint off the window and cleaning up the stove in there and everything, and we used to do that. You helped me with
I
that?
think so.
Yeah, I remember Janelle doing that.
I remember doing that.
What about picking tomatoes? We go on these, and strawberries, we go on these big farms and
That
That's-
they were done with.
We were the
their picking
gleaners.
And anyone could go in and
Yes.
do whatever they wanted.
So tell me we didn't teach you kids how to work.
Yeah, we had to work.
So Dad, what were some of the jobs as a fireman? You would work